Hey everyone, I am recording this video to share what I've learned in a semester of tutoring for virtual organization. This video, I'm going to go through some best practices and just kind of basic practices, things everyone should be doing as long as you're doing virtual organization tutoring. Thank you for joining me. I will try to keep this pretty short. To begin with, what exactly is virtual organization tutoring? This existed before COVID, before the pandemic, but it wasn't very popular. People were skeptical, and now people are basically their hand has been forced. And this type of tutoring is here to stay. So it's great to get familiar with it now. Virtual organization tutoring, as I've written here, it entails a balance of academic assistance and then virtual learning support. Academic assistance is what we've always done. It's getting in there if you're a math tutor, figuring out what's going on with their curriculum, helping them, teaching them how to fish rather than get the fish for them. Virtual learning support is more of a tech role where you are assisting the student with engaging their courses as the teachers intend them. There's a variety of reasons why students fail to engage with their coursework. It goes from some kids really just the online teaching format is woefully under engaging for them. I find that with first through third graders, you see the education bouncing off their eyeballs and just going back at the computer. Not all kids are like that, but it happens. And then as they get older, there remain some children who just online learning is not going to work for them. There is that population. There's also the population that's really disenfranchised with the whole situation, whether it be family motivators or they don't like the course, or I don't know. There can be different things going on, but you have these students who are just not going to engage with the content. They're going to make excuses. They're going to find reasons why they can't do it. Those kids are one of the populations that we really can help. The second population that we really can help are the ones who just don't get it. Kids who just who aren't savvy. I've met a lot of older instructors who say, this stuff is way in the rather basically I'm too old to be learning this stuff. Well, I'll tell you, it's not necessarily an age thing, because I get kids who are too old to engage with the online coursework as the teacher intends it. They just don't get it. They don't get how it all fits together. So your job as a virtual learning support, there's academic assistance, virtual learning support, is to assist them with engaging in the coursework as it's been intended by their teachers. So beyond those two kind of major responsibilities, as a virtual learning tutor, you should be collecting their learning management system login information. You should be tracking performance, grades, and missing assignments. Okay. Yeah, you should be helping them catch up on late work and then make sure that they know what's going on for the future, helping them complete future work on time. Our primary goal is always learning. We want children to be learning. Our secondary goal is making sure they pass their courses. If it comes down to they have a 55, they need a 60 to pass. At that point, I would say learning goes secondary to passing. Because the reality is, in this situation, kids are not getting the fairest shake. Kids are not, they're not getting the fairest shake. I have one student who, I compare her to a future lawyer. I say I am just flabbergasted at her capacity for reasoning, analytics, and she's failing every one of her classes. So when it comes to essay writing with her, we have very high level dialogue about the content, and then when it comes to the nitty gritty, I offer more in terms of what she's doing versus what I'll do for her. When it comes to a sentence where the style is pretty messed up, I will be the first to say, hey, consider using this word. What do you think about using this word, rather than sitting back and saying, this sentence isn't working. What are your ideas on how we can progress the situation? So it requires some tact, but also some kind of meta, take a step back, recognize where the student is at right now and what they really need. Okay, so let's move on here. I got a little script. So we talked about what virtual tutoring is. Three traits that I think are really useful to virtual organization tutors are being adroit, being organized, and being proactive. Proactive, I guess I'll define all three of those real quick. So, adroit, I think that you just need to be on top of everything. You need to be, if something needs to happen, you need to be the one who leads and say, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. Don't ask them too many questions. When it comes to organized, you need a system to actually be adroit within. You need to design the system, you need to familiarize your student with your system, and because we're working with learning management systems, which we will get to in just a second here, that's the other 85% of my screen is the learning management system stuff. So, and this is how I'm organized, actually. I'll talk about it in a second, but this is how I keep my students organized. I create an assignment tracker. So yeah, we need to be adroit. We need to be, nailing things as they're basically as if they were on a to-do list. Organized, that to-do list needs to exist, and the to-do list in the form that makes most sense for the student. As you see here, this is not necessarily a to-do list, although it does share some features with a to-do list. And then finally, proactive. With any of these students, I mean, geez, the student I just described, who's a fantastic writer and thinker, if I didn't meet with her, she's not going to turn in anything, and she's a rare situation, but she's not going to do anything unless I am proactive. You might push back here and say, my job isn't to basically be the engine for their schooling. And I mean, there's an interesting philosophical debate at the bottom of this. What exactly is your role? What did you sign up for here? This work is a little bit different from the do you feel passionate about physics? Let's share that passion with another student. Indeed, it is a little bit different. And as we go forward, I mean, I'm doing videos like this to kind of retool and retrain you so that you are more able to do this work. And if this is not the kind of work you want to do, please let me know because, first of all, there's other work available to you. We will emerge out of pandemic one day, and there's also regular online tutoring. But secondly, what was secondly? Oh yeah, I need to hire people who will do this work. We need to begin to specialize in this online virtual tutoring because this is the future. It's now, but it's not going away. So, with that said, being proactive is super important. You need to be on top of them. You need to tell them when they need to meet with you. I mean, depending on the student. Some of my students, I do have to tell them, "Hey, you have this assignment coming up. Let's meet." And the positive for this is that you as a tutor are going to get employed more. If you are proactive and tell your student what they need, they're going to work with you, particularly if they're in high school. They don't want to fail. Their parents don't want them to fail. So if you're looking for more hours, this is the kind of work that scales up. You need to tell the student exactly what they need. You are the prescribing professional. Okay, so let's now get into learning management system. So up on my screen here, you see my assignment tracker. Essentially what I've done in the assignment tracker is I went through a student's entire learning management system and I logged everything that they had outstanding, which 43 assignments. So I put subject, and by the way, this is a template available. If you, no matter what program you use, whether it's Google, or rather Google Docs, Pages on your Mac, or Word on your PC. It's been a while since I used a PC. No matter what you're using, the program has templates within it. And I'm actually using Sheets here. The equivalent for Mac is Numbers, and for PC or Windows, that would be Excel. So I'm using the data management system. There are templates you can access in any of these. I mean, Google Sheets is the one that has the least templates, and that's what I'm using. So I found this assignment tracker. I kind of tweaked it. I have what subject the missing assignment is, what the assignment is here, and I've hyperlinked every assignment. So I can just click on that, and it will take me to the assignment. I have a little status indicator, and then time, start date, due on. I should have done better on the start date or the due on date. That's when the assignment was initially due. But I actually feel like I'm working pretty well within this system. And then notes, really important for like, notes. We need to keep track of all the stuff that doesn't fit into a neat little mathematical system. So that's what notes is for. So I have everything. And then the color coding, I'm a big color coding guy. So red means we need to do this right now. Orange means next up. And then the shades of orange and shades of red mean basically kind of the same, except to a lesser extent. Green, I guess, meant we need to talk to the teacher about this. Blue meant we're pushing it back. All right, so that's my assignment tracker. If you have any questions about assignment tracker, why it's useful, how it's useful, what you can do with it, how I did this, I'll help you out. Okay, next, let's take a look at a few learning management systems. So teachers are using systems to basically keep everything organized. They're teaching an online class. They use platforms to keep the course organized, the course materials organized, the course performance easy to access. So let's look at two of the most popular ones, Google Classrooms and Canvas. This is Google Classrooms. This is your homepage. Let me see, can I get this a little bigger without... Can I? No, it'll go behind me. Okay, so let's go here. All right. So Google Classroom shows you all of the child's classes. You can go to a nifty little to-do list that'll show you everything that they have upcoming, and you can look at their missing assignments too, and then all of their completed assignments here. And I think you can click it, and it'll show you their grade, or I guess that one just reads turned in. Let me move this in a little bit just so it's not overlapping. I want to make sure you guys can see everything. So let's go to, I guess, done, and then earlier, and let's just click a random one. So 50 out of 50 on this art. Good job, Lucas. Fitness project, I can click. It just says turned in. I guess there's no grade on it yet. But if I was to view all, I would start to see the students' grades. All right. So that's the to-do list, but honestly, that's not really where the bread and butter is. Where you're actually going to get most of your information, although honestly, the to-do list is quite nifty, by clicking into each of these individual classes. So what I like to do is I have a little Bluetooth keyboard. I can just pick it up. But on Mac, it is the function is Command. On Windows, the function is Control, I think. If you Control left click something, it's going to open a tab. You can also just right click and then select to open a new tab. What I like to do is I open all of my kids' classes. I go one by one into the course, and with Google Classrooms, that's quite easy. You have a stream, which is going to be all of the content. It's a bad idea to organize your course into a stream. It's good for when you're in the class. You can just be like, hey, class, go to the stream. It's at the very top. But as an outsider trying to examine the system, the stream is a little bit hard to follow. Though everything is dated, it's not exactly as polished as a Facebook timeline, for example. So let's go to classwork. Classwork is a bit more organized. At least it puts this stuff into a weekly format for you. And you can see, all right, 11/9 to 11/13. Okay, I was going to say, wait. Oh, wow, this teacher has stopped updating. I think this is a teacher we've actually had a problem with because she does everything in stream. And that's just a little bit annoying. So let's try another teacher. Social issues with Butkovich. This teacher, I do believe, doesn't use the stream function in the same way. That first teacher, and it is a little bit different. We have people who know how to use classrooms, people who have no idea. All right, I've been going 15 minutes. Okay, basically. So let's go to classwork here. All right, so this teacher has organized assignments according to date. So I can click in, see this due date research essay due on the 1st, and I can click into it. Oh yeah, of course. Let's now view the assignment. This is going to take us to a landing page where the assignment actually lives. If Lucas had not turned in the assignment, it would say here missing. Instead, it says turned in. You can review if the assignment is not complete yet, this is really good stuff. You can review the rubric right here. The teachers put up the rubric, and then you can even see what the student has turned in. So yeah, this is Google Classrooms. I really like it. I think it's a great system. Let's now move on past Google Classrooms to another very popular platform, which is Canvas. So Canvas here is your home page. It is pretty similar to Google Classrooms. It lacks even as much polish as Classrooms does, but it is functional. So here we're looking at, it'll automatically take us to a stream of everything that the student has upcoming. On the top, you can look at notifications. You're able to, oh, we got to talk about that. A lot of missing assignments there. Hold on, I'm receiving a call. Let me ignore that. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my ears are full of ringing right now. It is done. All right, so the options up here, this is, okay, grades, all right. You can see their grades at a glance. And then recent activity, you can mess around with the view here. But anyways, basically what you're going to have to do with Canvas, which you don't totally have to do with Google Classroom, is go into every class. So again, let's look at this tab function. I'm opening up tabs for each of my students' classes here. And then let's go into biology. So actually, I'm going to click into a couple pages before I dive in. And that's because unlike Google Classroom, where there's Stream and Classroom, two basically options, that's what teachers have to work with, Canvas gives teachers a lot more flexibility in how their course page is organized. So for example, this one, you see home, modules, discussions, grades, announcements. English has way more. I mean, that's all I got to show you. The teachers either pick, one or two to use. And so it is essential that you understand how the teacher is utilizing their learning management system. Everyone does it a little bit different. What I have found is that I mean, this looks pretty complicated. It's not. This teacher, discussions, I've never actually gone into. Let's see what's there. Looks like the teacher did one discussion once. Grades is going to be useful. People is not going to be useful. Pages, this is like the home page, I reckon. Files will be useful. This is where well, I guess not. Teacher doesn't really use the files. So this, again, it's the English teachers, man. What's going on with the English teachers? This teacher does not understand very well how to use Canvas, and that's okay. We have to work with them. They're a person trying their best. You have a student who may or may not be trying their best. All you have to do is try your best to be a bridge between the two parties. It is the easiest of the three jobs. So, yeah. What I like to do is I click in. I usually just go to grades, and it's organized alphabetically, or you can, let's see. I guess it's reversed, but here we have the 16th. So when I log in, I can see, this is late. I see the student's grade down here. I can log in. I can click into a assignment, and that's my student's work. Let's go to a bigger assignment where something might be attached. So this is biology. I'm going to go into grades here. So let's go to a bigger assignment. How about this? Macromolecules quiz. So out of 14 points, I can see my student's attempt here took 19 minutes, 11 out of 14. So unlike Google Classrooms, there are there's I guess some functionality within Canvas to actually like do quizzes and stuff. So I think Classrooms has that too. But anyways, as you see here, teacher has created a quiz within Canvas. So I'm going to have to click in and access that. So it's not super simple in that, everything's on your screen in front of you. There is some clicking, some accessing, some saving things, which gets back to why this is so important. What I do here is I take this whole big, nasty, complex octopus of a system and I put it into a to-do list. And these hyperlinks here are all, when I go to let's see, homework completed cells notes, it has the tag up here. All I have to do is copy this, and then go over to my assignment tracker and edit my link and paste it in there. And I can go to that assignment lickety-split. And it's really good for late students with a lot of late assignments. All right, so that is going to complete our investigation into learning management system and assignment trackers. Again, happy to help you. As you now see, now that I've gone through the system, you see why it is important for us to be adroit, organized, proactive. Okay. Just a couple final notes for you. Don't be scared to spend your students' hours. I see, I am scaling up right now to 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week. I have helped students who are failing before, and we've worked together 5, 6, 7 hours in a week. You are the prescribing professional. If you see a need, then you need to talk to the student and schedule those additional sessions. If they're a high schooler, they can probably schedule themselves. If they're younger, then you're going to have to go through the parents. Let me see. I do want to talk about parents. All right. So dealing with parents. Um, it's complicated with online. I've seen parents do things like join my sessions and just kind of sit there on mute and watch, hang out in the background, also be totally uninvolved and have no idea what's going on anywhere. So this is one of the reasons that it's good for you and I to talk. And in the future, I would love to find more ways for you and other instructors to connect about this kind of stuff, person to person, dealing with parents and their role in the relationship. Because ideally, the parent is just kind of echoing what your, what your my echo is. Echo, stop. Reflecting what you're doing, and giving you insight from how their home life is going and what the teachers are saying. That's good stuff. Also, side note: don't ever expect for a teacher to support your tutoring. These people are extremely busy with coronavirus. Even back in the day, they wouldn't really. I mean, I've learned teachers aren't going to support me, and that's before coronavirus. Now, fat chance. Don't rely on it. Um, Parents, some advice for you: CC them on emails, particularly if you're emailing teachers. If you're emailing your student, it is almost a legal kind of keep yourself in the open sort of measure that you want to CC or BCC parents on all correspondences. When it comes to teachers, sometimes you really plainly need a teacher's attention. In that situation, I do recommend CCing the oh, I totally forgot to talk about emails. All of your students have emails. In addition to gathering login information for their learning management system, you need to get their emails as well. And that's so you can help correspond with teachers. As an adult, you know how adults talk to each other. You can help write an email to a teacher, have the kids sign it on the bottom, sign off on the content, CC the parents, and send it for them. It's also a great way to teach them how to write emails, because kids don't really learn that, and that obviously is very important stuff. 22 minutes. All right, I'll be done very soon. So, yeah, CC parents when you email teachers if you really want them to respond. I kind of have like I kind of need them to respond, and these people have to respond to me sort of levels. So, like, for example, I'm working with a student who, as you can see here, has a lot of late work. Teachers, I can tell, are pretty frustrated with this student because they're not doing their work. Being that teachers are so busy, they're unlikely to make a struggling student's attempt at reaching out really a high priority. They might even forget. The reason for that is because this student has indicated that they're not really dedicated. So why am I, as a teacher with a million things to do, going to put this at the top of the priority list? It's going to kind of stay at the bottom where the student seems to treat my class. And that's just a little bit of human nature. Not every teacher is going to be like that, but I've learned that a lot of them are. And that is because everyone's so busy. You have to, you know. So if a teacher isn't responding to your emails, that's when it's time to get the parents involved. Tell the parents, hey, this person's not responding. We really need them to respond. For example, in one of my classes, one of my students, we have some missing math assignments. The teacher stopped grading the math assignments, saying, put all of your work on one page, or I'm not accepting it. Student kept doing 2-3 pages of work. So there's about 7 assignments that have zeros on them because the work is not in one page on a PDF. It's in 3 separate PDFs or 2 separate PDFs. It is not acceptable for my student to fail the class because they formatted something in a way that the teacher didn't like. The teacher on their side might be saying, what is wrong with the student? I told them what they needed and they're not doing it. On the student's end, I mean, a million things could be happening. So again, we have to be the bridge. We have to be good bridges. And one way we can be a good bridge is to be a great advocate. So in this email to this math teacher, I'm CCing everyone that I can. I'm CCing the parents. I'm CCing the academic advisor. I'm CCing everyone so that the teacher sees it and is like, oh, this is one that everyone's looking at. And oh, I didn't grade any of these 7 assignments. Like, I got to do that. So there's a way of elevating things so that they move. Parents are useful in that respect because parents are going to advocate as well or better than you for their student. So I like to be strategic with where I involve parents. Next, you need them in the loop, but to some extent they can't really help. It's complicated. With every student, it's a little bit different. Your work is primarily going to be between you and the student, not really the parent. Usually, they're going to be a third party, whereas like first party, second party, everyone else is third party. So just focus on making sure that you are working with the student. You have this relationship going. Parents, you need to involve. They're okay being satellites typically, because if you're working 4 hours with the student, they can't keep up. All right. Anyways, I'm going to end there. 25 minutes. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was useful. My intent is for this program to grow, and so this time you've spent studying, thinking about this, your own process is time well spent. Again, thank you very much. Good luck, and have a great holiday season.